Let's rev it up! Because I am sure hungry for one. Help! Help!
What's up, guys? It's Dirty from Dirty Egan, the boys. Today we have
Lucas Johnson.
And what do you got?
Today we have PK Fire with the new stuff. So, I guess to give a quick overview, Phantom Rage just came out. In another video that Dirty Yugi filmed, we cracked open the case, and I basically pulled up everything I needed for the deck, so that was really cool. And I just put everything else I had together. I'm notorious for playing 60-card decks, so this is going to be a 60-card version. It doesn't have to be, but it has to be.
A sticker than a Snickers.
Exactly. So let's get into the profile. Alright, so we're starting with the monster account. For all the BAs, we got the 3 ulti tour guides. I've had these for a second. They're just gorgeous, and it's great to have a deck that you can use all 3 in reliably. This is obviously the best normal summon of the deck. Just one of her will end you on Dragoon with 2 Fog Blades and a Bardish, which honestly on its own is a good board, but with extenders it gets even better.
I thought you said 2 Dragoon, and I was like, what the...
No, 1 Dragoon.
Oh, I thought you said 2. I was like, wait a minute, am I
How are we
here?
doing that? Alright, continuing on, we got the 2 Seer, the 2 Graph. These are really good. Funny enough, these are not ones you want to draw. You want to use their effects when sent to the grave, not to special summon them. So when they're in hand, they're not as useful, but they are still decent. And then we play I Love Farfa, my favorite interrupting card. It just gets you out of so many situations and stops your opponent from playing the game in so many ways. Taking the monster off the field is huge. So I play 3, and because it's 60, I can get away with it. 3 Skarm, again. I love Skarm. Getting that end phase search for free is always nice. Setting you up with a 2 guide per turn, or getting you like a Graph or Seer in hand as a free discard for your Dragoon. Really nice. And then for the rest of the BAs, we got the 2 Livix. He's just really needed. Helps you with when you need to get BAs on field without having them blow up because you don't have Cherubini. So he helps with that in many ways. He also helps if you open up the Graph or Seers to get them out of your hand. Then the 1 Calcab does the set cards, the 1 Alec for the negate, and then the 1 Barbar to burn in time.
Chase Cunningham special.
Exactly. Or Noah Green. And then the 3 Rhinos. Rhino in any BA is full combo as well. Rhino's an amazing card, but he's very susceptible to things like Valor and Impermanence, but very powerful card overall. I love him. And then for the Phantom Knights, because this is having the feature of the Phantom Knights, we have the new ones. So we got the 3-tier scale. This guy is new. This guy does a lot on 1 card. I mean, I love him. So he is basically a Dark Grepher. You can discard any card to send a Phantom Knight card from the deck to the grave, which could basically be, most likely it's going to be your Ancient Cloak, so you can search out your boots to extend, so send the cloak, search out this, or it could send you a traps for extenders, like it just does so much. And then when you banish another Phantom Knight card in your graveyard, you could summon them back, but banish leaves the field, so then you just overlay with them. So that way you keep that resource. He is amazing. He's a 1 card on his own, can still set you on the Bardish and Dragoon and 2 Fog Blades, so that's really cool. Otherwise, when you're using them the combo, you could just get you to so many other things, like Dark Requiem Dragon. And then we have the 1, is that Staingreaves? So he's the other new one. He's a common, unfortunately. But he basically is, he can banish to summon 1 from your hand. So if you open up a hand of too many of, like, these guys, especially him in your hand, but you didn't want a normal, like you want a normal tour guide, you can send this off to Rubini, summon off your hand, and then extend even more. So he definitely helps with hands. He's not... And if you summon him, if you draw him, if you special summon a Phantom Knight, you can special summon from your hand. So he's got utility in both the deck and the graveyard. So he's not like and the hand. So he's not like a horrible card, but he's not like a best. He's just he's an optional card. And then we play the mandatory, the 3 Cloak, the 3 Boots, and the 3 Gloves. These are the ones that everybody knows and loves. They do everything that we need for us. Search, and send. Love these boys. They do everything we need. And drawing these specifically is not always horrible, but because if you draw like Tour Guide and 1 Phantom Knight card, specifically gloves, you can do a lot of stuff. And then for extenders, so we need some extenders. Because if Tour Guide gets stopped, there's generally not much more you can do. So you need to have things that go along with that. So I play the Psychic Patrick, 2 trackers and 2 Weed Dealers. These guys are really good. They summon without an effect, so your opponent doesn't really see them coming, and they get just really good cards, hard to play around, and they just help you extend more, especially with Tour Guide, or like Rhino or Phantom Knights, just help you to keep going. Love these cards. I didn't want to play 3 and 3 because they do get cloggy, and you can only summon them once, that way. And then the notorious common Red Eyes V-Dragon and Dark Magician. So I play commons of these, and you'll see later, I do play the common Red Eyes Fusion. The argument with this is that when you play commons, you are less likely to cut these to the top part of your deck and draw them. So I didn't want to play the foil versions, because I do have all the high priority ones of these, but those will get cutted to the top of your deck, you draw them in your opening hand, and you'll hate yourself. So you play commons, so you don't draw them. Man, that's pretty much the only reason for that. So Dragoon's just a hell of a card. We'll play it while we can, right? And then moving on to traps. or let's go to spell first. Spells. We got the new rank up spell. This is the new amazing card. It's better than worse than the old one. It's better because you don't need to target a Dark Requiem with no materials. And it's somewhat worse because you're limited to what you can summon off of it, which is good because it's probably not going to get banned because of that. But it does allow us to summon Dark Requiem Dragon on our first turn, or on their first turn. It's a very nice card. I love this. It's not searchable by Cloak. You gotta notice it doesn't have the in there, so it's not a the Phantom Knight card. So you can only search it off Boots, but it's still a very good card. I'm glad it came out. And then we have our 3 Ulti Allures. Draw power is always a good thing, and always unbricking yourself. Love this card. It's always been like a staple in my BA decks. And then we play the 3 Droplets. Droplet is just like an amazing card this format. It just gets you out of so many problem boards. And especially when you're sending things like Phantom Knights and BAs, you're actually getting like advantage off sending those cards to the graveyard. So it's not like you're actually losing them by sending cards. You're actually just like, you're advancing your game state. And then for the 1-ofs, we got the 1 Foolish Burial. This card's just amazing in general. The 1 Rhoda, so you can search out the whatever Phantom Knight you need, probably Scales. And the 1 Red Eyes Fusion for the Dragoon. Alright, and for the traps. We got the 3 Fog Blades, amazing searchable Phoenix Chain. Love this card. Graveyard effect for extending, even better. 2 Swords. Sword gives 800 attack to a monster, and it can't be if it be destroyed once, you can destroy this instead. Same graveyard effect as Fog Blade, so it's great extender. I find this card comes up in a lot of situations, just for the fact of having more targets in deck for like Bardish, having like more ways to extend. Like I like this card because it's continuous and stays on the field, and just things like that. I love this card, especially in conjunction with some other like side deck options that I do. And then we do the 3 Imperms. It's the only hand shop I play. And so that between this and Droplet, I can usually play through a board. This is a very powerful card in general, and it's just a good card to play in general. And then the last 2 traps are the basically win buttons, the 1 Order and the 1 Skill Drain. If you draw these, you won. Good game. Good game. All right. And let's go to the extra deck.
And that's the chunk we call 60.
That is a 60 card deck. And the way we can get away with 60 is because of this card. As long as you make this card, you full comboed. It doesn't matter how many cards in your deck when you make this card. And because it's so good, we play 2 of them! Only because the second one comes up so often, especially for your follow-up turn. So we do play this, and next thing you go is going to the Bardish. I'm glad this card is off the list. I love this card. I love PK Fire. This card has so many uses. Way more uses outside of Orcus that got unfortunately banned. And then for the rest of the links, we do the Boral Sword, for OTKing, getting over Dragoons, things like that, and then the Viridian Ganda for the Dragoons. Okay. And then we play, for XYZs, we got the 2 Break Swords. 1 is obviously mandatory, 2 sometimes comes up, just a great card. Helps you go into your rank up package monsters, and it's just clear boards and everything. And then we got the 1 Levier. It really helps you extend, using some combos. Just a great card overall. And then we have the BAs. We got the 1 Dante and the 1 Beatrice. Sometimes if you open up a couple extenders, you can end on Beatrice as well on top of your Dragoon and Bardish. And so this is just a interruption with Farfa. Love this card, and it floats. And then we have the newly, well, not really new, but this is like pretty much going to be new to a lot of people because it wasn't as easy to summon before. And this card is very powerful, especially if you can get off first turn. It'll basically have 3 monster negates that destroy and summon back XYZs. No, so pretty much on your opponent's turn, you're going to be negating 3 monster effects and summoning these guys back to the field, which basically sets you up for an OTK.
That's dumb.
It's very dumb. It's very cool. I love this card. He has another effect. Doesn't matter. And then we have the last XYZ is Zeus. I haven't really tried out this card. This is the Starlight one. I pulled this earlier in my case. Basically, this turns like any like XYZ monster into a very threatening board clear, especially like Dante. So Dante attack, it's not a meme anymore. You actually have this main phase 2, and you can start clearing boards. Non-once per turn, detach 2, send all their cards on the field to the graveyard. So you could like not even once per chain. So you could detach 2. They could try to negate it. You could detach 2 again and try again. And then if you had more materials, like, I mean, maybe you're probably playing Zodiac at that point. Yeah, right?
Borwell.
And then fusions, we play the 1 Dragoons. Card is nuts. Play it while you can. And then the 1 Pilgrim. Pilgrim is an optional card because it really depends on if your opponent's going to kill your Beatrice or not. Honestly, I like having the option. And sometimes if I can, I'll crash my Beatrice to get my Pilgrim because this card is just amazing. You know, like drawing stuff, untargetable. Like, he's a BA monster. Very hard to out. Like, does everything for you. So that's the extra deck. Notable mentions for extra deck options are these guys. So Raider's Knight is basically allows you to rank up without a rank up spell to go into cards like this guy. And this guy can negate the field, gain the attack of the field, and then he can only attack and you attack once. And he'll pretty much be like an OTK in 1 attack, but He's very susceptible to just, if he gets negated, then like you're not doing too much after that. But he does is if he has a Dark Exquisite, he can't be destroyed by card effects. So it is kind of cool. And he has 3,000 attack, and it's very easy to access. This can also rank down into another Break Sword. So you could potentially go into a Break Sword, pop a card, go back into this, and then go back down and blow up another card. So really cool. And the Break Sword effect to blow up when it blows up to summon 2 more Phantom Knights, not once per turn, by the way. Kind of cool.
Dumb.
Yeah, so you could play like multiples of these if you really want to just like keep, going back for this guy. He might be once. Yeah, he definitely is, but maybe not. Who knows? We don't read cards. We're Yu-Gi-Oh players. All right, for side deck.
I mean, you're right.
All right, for the flex spot, 3 alphas.
And when you mean flex spot, you mean
Flex style points. I don't know if I would normally side deck this card. I've never really tried it. It's brand new. It just came out today officially. But I do love the idea of having Monster Mash cards that can break boards on their own.
Yeah.
And big attack. Only wish it was a dark, so you could have more utility with like a lure. Because in the past I've done like the dark kaiju for that reason.
yeah.
But I think he'll be very good, and we'll see how he goes. And if he doesn't, we can always resort to other board breaking cards. And then we have the 3 Twin Twisters, so we don't lose to, yeah, these are alties as well.
Yeah, but they're not first.
They don't come in first.
What do you mean?
It's alties.
I know.
Okay, deal. Alright, but these are always just really good card. Lightning Storm's a good card. I do own Lightning Storm, but
After everything, I'd assume you own. I assume you own. Like,
oh yeah, of course. But discarding a card is good for this deck, and it actually can help set up your plays. And especially if you discard like a Graph, then, or if Ruinous Rhino, then you can send like a Calcab and bounce another card. So this card alone can take out 3 back row, and it's also used on your opponent's turn because it's a quick play. I love quick plays just because they're more versatile in what they do, and they're a lot harder to play around. So yeah, really good card. Plus it's ulti. And then
the
3 anti-spells. So we already made the order.
Ultimate rare.
Do they come in ulti?
No.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet. So anti-spell is just a very powerful card going first. This is how you don't lose the things like Lightning Storm and Dark Ruler. If you draw this or Impure Order on top of your normal combo, you probably won. And if you lost, I don't know how. And then the flex, the Lucas tech is Vanity's Fiend. It's a dark. It doesn't take away from your combo. It's I like this card because if you, let's say, draw 2 BAs or whatever, and you special and make the Trubini and do your full combo, you can end your combo by tributing some of the Verde Anaconda and summoning this. So you're going to have the Bardish, the Dragoon, the 2 Fog Blades, and now this on the field as well.
That's dumb.
It is dumb, and they don't get to play the game. And they're alties. And then this is the Lucas Special. See, these are really good board breaking cards. I've always played these for years. I moved them to the side deck just to try other things, but this is the old rank up spell. Really, it's really good that it's just really easy with these cards. So this is a Rhapsody. Most people know this. It's basically detach up to 2 to banish cards in the graveyard, and then you can rank up into this guy. And this guy nobody really knows. So he's the C version of Rhapsody. He's a Requiem. So he can detach to banish card on the field, once per turn. So you can detach, banish, and he has the same effect as Rhapsody. We can equip to a monster, give it the 2,000 attack, and if it would be destroyed once, it's destroyed instead. And with this this rank up spell, you can banish it to equip or to attach a Phantom Knight monster from your hand as a material. So you can potentially banish 3 monsters from the field. This card, between these two, you're taking 2 cards out of the field or graveyard and 2 out of the field. Really good board breaking, especially after using like something like Break Sword to start breaking the board.
Yeah.
So they're just really good cards. I put them in the side deck for now, just to try them purely for going second, because you're never really going to need them going first unless you need them for some reason because your board got broken and you need to break their board. But we're just trying the side deck for now. Main deck or main extra deck got really tight, so we're just we're gonna take it around and see how this goes. But I want to keep these around for sure.
All right. Any last words?
I love Phantom Knights. I love Burning Abyss. I'll play them until I die or until they die, whichever comes first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was deep.
Yeah, that was real deep.
So,
Here.
all right, this is Dirty E from Dirty E Boy signing out. Have a good day.